In the decades following the Second World War, armies around the world faced a new reality. Tanks were becoming faster, aviation more precise, and artillery more destructive. Yet infantry, the backbone of any ground force, still relied on thin-skinned carriers or trucks that could transport soldiers, but not protect them during combat. Commanders understood that a modern army required a vehicle capable of moving with tank units, fighting alongside them, and shielding the troops inside from the rapidly increasing threats on the battlefield. This idea slowly matured into a new class of armored vehicles, infantry fighting vehicles. The origins of the concept were born from bitter wartime experience. German panzer grenadiers rode into battle in half-tracks that offered mobility but little protection, while Soviet motorized infantry often clung to the hulls of their tanks, exposed to enemy fire. After the war, both sides studied these shortcomings in detail. The Soviets were the first to transform lessons into a concrete design philosophy. They envisioned a machine that could bring an entire squad onto the battlefield without dismounting, provide its own firepower, support tanks in the attack, and most importantly, survive on a future nuclear battlefield. This resulted in the BMP-1, introduced in the mid-1960s. It was the world's first true infantry fighting vehicle, compact, amphibious, heavily armed for its size, and equipped with a powerful anti-tank missile that allowed even a single squad vehicle to threaten enemy armor at long range. The arrival of the BMP-1 shocked NATO, which had expected the Soviets to rely on simple armored personnel carriers, not a vehicle that blurred the line between transport and light tank. NATO nations rushed to respond. In the United States, years of debate produced the M2 Bradley, a vehicle that emphasized fire control systems, sensors, and the ability to engage both infantry and armored threats. The Bradley carried TOW missiles capable of destroying even the heaviest enemy tanks, while its 25mm cannon provided high-rate fire against lighter vehicles. Across the Atlantic, Britain pursued its own path with the Warrior, focusing on reliability, endurance, and maintainability. The Warrior was designed for long overseas deployments, harsh climates, and sustained operations far from home bases, a reflection of British military commitments in Europe and the Middle East. West Germany developed one of the most influential Western designs, the Marder. Drawing from the accumulated experience of World War II, Korea, and later Cold War tensions, the Marder featured front-mounted engine placement for better crew protection, a spacious troop compartment with a rear ramp, and a fast-firing 20mm cannon. Its layout and ergonomics would influence future IFVs for decades. Other nations followed the trend as well. France developed the AMX-10P, Italy created the Dardo, Sweden eventually introduced its advanced CV90. In every case, the driving force was the same. Infantry needed their own armored vehicles capable of fighting, not merely transporting troops. By the end of the Cold War, the battlefield was changing once again. Urban warfare, insurgencies, and advanced anti-tank weapons posed new threats that early IFVs were not designed to withstand. Militaries demanded stronger protection, better electronics, and new weapon systems. Unified platforms and modular armor became the guiding principles of design. One of the most ambitious examples of this shift came from Germany with the development of a new generation of armored vehicles. Although the original program proved too expensive and was eventually scaled back, it produced one surviving masterpiece, the Puma. The Puma represented the absolute cutting edge of armored vehicle engineering. Its modular armor allowed its weight to vary dramatically depending on mission requirements, from lighter configurations suitable for air transport to heavily protected variants capable of resisting modern armor-piercing rounds. heavy machine guns, and advanced anti-tank guided missiles. Its turret was fully unmanned, controlled by advanced optics and computer systems. Programmable airburst ammunition gave it the ability to engage helicopters and entrenched infantry, while modern third-generation missiles allowed it to defeat almost any armored target. Sophisticated active protection systems and all-weather sensors made the Puma one of the most technologically advanced IFVs ever built. Yet the same technological excellence became its flaw. Its cost approached that of light aircraft, and its maintenance requirements limited its widespread adoption. As a result, Germany continued to field older Marders alongside the new Pumas, and Rheinmetall developed a more affordable, export-oriented counterpart, the KF41 Lynx, which nonetheless preserved the philosophy of a modular, adaptable, modern fighting vehicle. As the 21st century advanced, other nations joined the evolution. Israel introduced heavily armored troop carriers such as the Namer, built on tank chassis to maximize survivability in dense urban environments. South Korea launched the K-21, combining lightweight composite armor with sophisticated electronics. Sweden continued to upgrade the CV90 family with advanced fire control, active protection, and improved mobility. Meanwhile, the United States began transitioning toward new armored platforms with enhanced digital integration and improved survivability, preparing for future conflicts where drones, sensors, and electronic warfare play an increasingly critical role. The story of infantry fighting vehicles is ultimately the story of changing warfare, from the open fields of Europe to the deserts of the Middle East and the dense cities of modern conflicts. Every nation approached the concept differently, shaped by its doctrine, geography, and military philosophy. But the shared objective remained constant: to give infantry the mobility, protection, and firepower needed to survive and fight alongside tanks in the complex, deadly battlefield of the modern era. Today's IFVs are not just transports, but sophisticated combat systems, combining sensors, armor, automation, and precision firepower into a single platform. Their evolution reflects the continuous effort to adapt to new threats and ensure that infantry remains an effective force in a world where the nature of war is constantly changing.